This is Valley News Live at noon.
Good afternoon. I'm Phoenix O'Connor. Cleanup Week is being rescheduled in Grand Forks and East Grand Forks because of recent weather. It will be now to take place from May 9th through the 13th. For more information on cleanup in these areas, log on to our website at valleynewslive.com or our VNL News app and click on this story. Well, there's been a lot of extra moisture and flooding. It can have impact on our river levels. Let's check in with Summer Schnellbach with a quick look at the weather. Good afternoon, Summer.
Good afternoon. Yeah, as you saw in the picture earlier, the pizza shop in Mayville is flooding, and we've got some flooding across the entire region. So I want to take a look at some area river levels. First up, the Cheyenne River near the Valley City area. Notice it's holding fairly steady in minor flood stage. And we'll take this full screen here. 15.4 feet was the latest update as of 10:45, and we are expecting that to remain fairly steady for the next couple of days because city engineers are working at the Bald Hill Dam to keep that level steady. But you can see by this weekend that's starting to rise as they will need to start releasing some of that water from the Bald Hill Dam. Good news for folks in Crookston, the Red Lake River, a preliminary crest of 27.07 feet. That is below what was in the forecast. Great news, not a record-breaking flood. In fact, this comes in at the third highest river level, currently dropping now 26.36 feet as of 10:45 this morning. The Red River at Grand Forks continuing its sharp rise, 44.08 feet as of 10:45. Expected to continue to rise to around 48.5 feet by the middle of this week. And the Sorley Bridge closed at 10:30 this morning. There's that Sorley Bridge there. You can see those water levels are quickly rising. The Kennedy Bridge is still open. Meanwhile, Red River at Oslo now in major flood stage, 36.53 feet, expected to come just shy of record 38 feet. And Oslo becomes an island with flooding conditions. So some dire conditions up in the Northern Valley. This is just a sampling of a few of the river levels across our region. You can find more on our website or at the National Weather Service website, nws.gov. We have a multitude of flood warnings across the entire region, some aerial flood warnings, some river flood warnings. You can find those on our website as well. So a lot going on for the weather. And sorry for my background there. I had to reboot the computer. Still didn't get it up going. But temperatures are below freezing for the rest of our day here in Fargo and across the region. So that means some of that overland flooding will be slowed down just a little bit, which is good news. But it's cold, it's slick, things are icy, so take caution on those roadways. Phoenix, coming up, I'll have your hour by hour for the rest of today and what to expect for the rest of the week and when more rain is in the forecast.
Thank you so much. Well, going back into a little bit more about those floodwaters arising in several places across the Northern Valley, just take a look at this photo. It's from the pizza shop in Mayville. Water is right up along the fence along 2nd Avenue Southwest. What was feared to be a record flood in Polk County has people on edge all weekend long. Volunteers rushed to Crookston to help keep floodwaters still back. There is still a lot of uncertainty as what to do with the Red Lake River and exactly what they're going to do. The good news is the Red Lake River has crested and it didn't reach the record level forecasted. The river hit 27.7 feet, which is the third highest on record. This is all thanks to volunteers coming from all over the valley. Sandbags are also in place to protect homes. The Crookston Sports Center has been set up as a makeshift shelter for people who need a safe, warm place to go. The Red Cross has water and snacks available. That's also where you go to for health services and, of course, some emotional support from Red Cross volunteers. The Department of Transportation is urging you to be careful while you're driving because of the flooding on the roads. Now we're going to have new for you at noon. The Moorhead man accused of stabbing a woman multiple times, pleading guilty in the case. Juan Pablo Brown is charged with second-degree attempted murder with intent. The police were called to a stabbing at 1202 34th Avenue South last January. Officers found a woman laying face down with blood on the floor and what appeared to be multiple stab wounds to her back. The victim says that Brown came to her apartment the day before the stabbing very intoxicated and accused her of cheating on him. Then on the next day, court documents state that he refused to give him money, and that's when he attacked her. Brown is set to be sentenced on June 6th. America's top diplomat and head of the Pentagon spent about 3 hours in Kyiv this weekend, meeting with Ukrainian president and his top generals and diplomats. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin say the U.S. is pledging more than $700 million in new military and financial support. They announced American diplomats will begin making day trips to Kyiv in order to re-establish a diplomatic presence in the capital. They also say that President Biden is nominating Bridget Brink, the current U.S. ambassador of Slovakia, to be the next ambassador to Ukraine. At a Mayo Clinic, a nurse in Minnesota, some good news to turn into an unlikely hero off the clock. And now he has the experience and he serves as a reminder to get the essential life-saving training. Brad Bird was out to lunch a couple of weeks ago when he really had to put some of his basic first aid and training to the test. An infant was choking and he sprang into action to perform the Heimlich maneuver. Well, that instinct saved the baby's life.
When they called for help for a nurse or doctor, kind of the staff really wasn't sure what to do. They were looking around for someone to kind of step up, and thankfully I was there to be able to do that. Otherwise, I don't know if anyone else would have had the skills.
The American Red Cross offers CPR classes in person and also online. Well, coming up at noon, we're going to take a look at an eco-friendly retreat that claims to be the world's first hotel to go entirely green. But next, could we get some relief as the calmer weather returns to the area? We're going to have Summer back in the studio and she's going to tell us.